Improvements, let's get it, baby. Incremental improvements, let's go. Yeah! Welcome to the Meaning Stream, brothers and sisters. It's the Meaning Stream number 66. Oh! 66 days and nights of regulating those vibes. We're here, baby. Let's get it. Smash that like. You better report this stream. Report this stream to your nearest internet provider. Report this stream to your family. Report this broadcast to your best friend or your mama. Yeah, do that. Property too, yeah, we're damn good too. Regulate any disruption of the vibes, yeah. Regulate any stealing or any disruption of the vibes. We will not stand for a disruption of the vibes. No, we shall not. Thanks to all the earth. That's all the earth. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Gotta have peace and love, baby. You know, you gotta have vibe regulation too. Oh! Yeah, hurrah, hurrah, yeah, where's that guy? Whoa, Spiro, oh, amazing, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for that very warm welcome. That was a beautiful welcome. What's the opposite of glacial? I feel like glacial is a really good word for, well, obviously glacial. What's the opposite of glacial? I don't think warm is good enough a word for that, frankly, I do not. I am of the opinion it's not a good enough word, gosh darn it. So we need a better word for the opposite of glacial. Help me out if you can, if you looked in live. As always, I require your assistance. You know, I'm nothing without you, baby. Nothing at all. What am I without you? What am I without you? Like, you know, I'm that tree falling in the woods with no one there to observe it. Therefore, I don't exist. You know, I'm like the mountain range in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas if you never actually go near it. You know, I just don't get rendered. You know, without you, baby, ain't nothing at all. Yo, how's everything sounding out there? Let me know if you looked in live how things are sounding. You know, I talk about incremental improvements on a daily basis. You know, on a daily basis, we just get something gets a little bit better every time. Today, I discovered the gain knob on my vocal effects device that the microphone runs through. I had the microphone as loud as I thought it could go for every stream previous to this, and it was always a bit too quiet. I had to hold it right to my mouth, you know, and it never quite seemed wrong enough. I mean, good enough. I mean, loud enough. And then today I found a thing, and I had it at 7, and it goes all the way up to 100. Yo! So I got it on 46 right now. Let me know how it sounds out there if you looked in live. Let me know how it sounds if you looked in live. But yeah, because today we're doing a live reading. We're doing a live reading of a book, a very special book by a special guy, a very special guy called Marcus, who's a good friend of ours. I actually did a whole album based around his readings, his writings earlier this year. And another one will be coming later this year. But I did a thing. I asked you guys, I said, what would you like to see on the stream? And a bunch of people said they would like to hear me reading Marcus Aurelius over lo-fi beats. So I will. You know, and that's good preparation, because I'm going to be recording Meditations Volume 2 pretty soon. You know, so that will just help get us in the vibes. You know, get us in the vibes. And yeah, so we're going to do that today. In the not too long. In the not too long at all, we're going to do that. Yes, we are. So, yeah, you know, just wait for more people to come in. So smash that like. You know, wait for more of the Meaning family to make their way into this broadcast. Shouts out to everybody locked in live. And shouts out to everybody in the replay. You were already here. You ain't got to wait for nothing, baby. You're already here. And I'm very glad you are here. How about that? Shouts out to India and Bangladesh. You know, shout out to my people in India, Bangladesh. I work with some people out there. They've been assisting me with things, and you know, they got a cyclone called Amphan. They got a cyclone called Amphan that is disrupting the vibes. Gosh darn it! So sending love to everyone out there in India and in Bangladesh. You know, I don't ever have to deal with cyclones. I've never had to deal with a cyclone in my life, but there are people on this planet who deal with cyclones quite often. You know. So shouts out to them, and you know, shouts out to everyone who's dealing with some extra stuff today. Extra stuff, as if there wasn't already enough stuff. You know, a lot of people are getting extra stuff. Someone today got their car repossessed. You know, nobody needed that. Nobody needed their car repossessed, but it happened to someone today. So if you're dealing with extra stuff today, then you know, the Meaning family is going to send our thoughts and our prayers and our love and our vibes, our vibe regulation to you. Just to you, okay? Shouts out to you. Joe Landone says glacial, orbital. What? Orbital is not a good word for warm, is it? No, anyway. Backdraft is the opposite of glacier. Yeah. So, well, yeah. Marshall McLuhan says volcanic. Yeah, I guess you're right, you know. I guess you're right. Volcanic would be the correct opposite word for that. I guess it would. Vinfuegos is sounding good. Okay, that's good to know. Let me know if it's not. Let me know, you know, if you hear anything, any artifacts or anything. Johnny Moen says Adam is Hebrew for red. Oh, really? Here you go. Johnny Moen, what up, baby? He says, I did some analysis of Akira's name. His real name means red consecrated for war. Which bit of it? What? Is that Adam Narkevich? Adam Jan Narkevich, or just the Adam? Then he says his stage name means bright leader. Yeah! Alright, that sounds good. So Akira the Dawn born Adam Narkevich. Ready for war, how you gonna better bar? Bright leader, ready for war. Bop, bop. We just got a name for the next album. Oh, Narkevich, or however it's spelled, means son consecrated to war. No one told me. No one told me that. That's good to know. Thanks. Yeah. Yeah, baby. Shouts out to everyone locked in. You are listening to the sweet, sweet sounds of Mariobeatz remix of the Princess Mononoke theme. Well, previously you heard Summer's Day, V2 by Jinsang. That was another Ghibli remix. Yeah. Today I'm also experimenting with the mic stand, so I don't have to keep holding it and stuff, you know. So far so good. It slightly drifts down, you know. I'm gonna have to get a better one, I think. Yeah. Big day, big news today. All sorts of big news. Much big news all over the place. I don't know what's going on. The Snyder Cut is coming out. You hear that? The Snyder Cut is coming out. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there's a guy called Zack Snyder. I was mean to him for many years. I actually put in a rap song once, Zack Snyder should go play with the traffic. It was a rap song about how I didn't hate the Beatles anymore and how I'd learned to let go of hate in my heart because it was unnecessary and foolish. I said, apart from Zack Snyder, who can go play with the traffic. That was very juvenile of me. What did Zack Snyder ever do to me? Nothing. I just thought Watchmen was bad. Maybe it's good now, I don't know. I mean, you know, 300 was secretly really good. You know, it was very fancy. It was like a crazed music video, you know? But I saw Batman vs. Superman in the cinema and I laughed my ass off, you know? It was ridiculous. But then we had that revelation on stream because the most ridiculous bit of it was the bit where Batman and Superman realized that actually they shouldn't be fighting each other and that they're you know, they're one. They had that realization, the two brothers fighting each other who actually were one, like in that Joseph Campbell song. And they realized it when they realized both of them had a mother called Martha. But Martha means mother, and that comes from Maya, which is the grand illusion of everything, right? So secretly, Zack Snyder was just too profound and we didn't understand. We were just too stupid to understand Zack Snyder. And now the Snyder Cut of Justice League is coming out. That was a movie he was making. He was given the keys to the DC universe. That's where Superman and Batman and those guys live. It's not the Marvel universe. The Marvel universe is where Captain America and Iron Man and Spider-Man live. It's a different universe. It's the older of the two. It's the one with the really, really mytho-poetic sort of old-school superhero guys that are all just ancient figures of our imaginations. Wonder Woman, goddess of war. You know, Batman, Superman, the sun god. And Zack Snyder was given the keys to that particular play set with which to do as he wished. And what he wished to do was dark and grim and gritty. Dark and grim and gritty he wished to do. And so he started to do it. And people took the piss out of it. You know, people felt that grim and gritty didn't really suit Superman, the sun god. I mean, it suits Batman, makes sense for Batman, but the sun god raining all the time and he's angry. It was ridiculous. Anyway, it was all leading up to a film called Justice League. You know, they'd all come together and you know, whoop some of Jack Kirby's finest creations. Jack Kirby's the guy who invented most of the Marvel universe and most of the good things in the second half of the DC universe. He's that genius. He's in the MEANINGWAVE universe. You might have heard him. But It's not me. It's not my music.
You're right. It's better than you. It's us.
Yeah, they were all going to be fighting Darkseid and all that sort of stuff, but weird stuff happened and people started to get in the money rooms, saw how badly Batman vs. Superman did. You know, they were filming all these things already. They had just assumed it was going to go great, but it wasn't going great. Then some weird stuff happened and he got yeeted off the project. They were going to yeet him off the project, and then he had a death in the family. His daughter died or something. I don't know exactly what happened, but it was something really awful and tragic. And he was off of that movie, and Joss Whedon came in. Joss Whedon, he came in to fix it. I stick sarky jokes in it, and people talking like the worst people on Twitter do. Joss Whedon, you know, Buffy was dope, right? But then there's certain kind of person just decided they were going to talk that way forever, particularly on Twitter. It just made a certain section of the world uninhabitable. So thanks, Joss Whedon. Anyway, Joss Whedon came in and he rejigged Justice League, and he filled it full of terrible jokes and Whedon-esque conversations, and refilmed a lot of it, and it came out, and everybody hated it. Everybody hated that thing. The world was united in its disdain for that thing. And then people started saying, we want the Snyder Cut, because Zack Snyder had already finished it, apparently. And then, you know, they brought in Joss Whedon to give everyone sassy dialogue. And people have been demanding the Snyder Cut. And, you know, where there is demand, then companies will find a way to meet that demand and get that money, baby. Why not? Why not? So the Snyder Cut is coming out. It's going to be coming out on HBO. Apparently it's coming out as a series, which is weird. It's going to be chopped into 30-minute sections. I don't know how I feel about any of this. I mean, I don't watch TV. I ain't got time for that stuff. But, yeah. I did watch The Matrix the other day. It's like the second movie I've watched all year or something. That was a very good movie. Ooh! What up, Yankee Lover? He says, your music is tranquility in motion. Hey, thanks. Jeffrey Cameron says, I liked Aquaman. I didn't see Aquaman. That seemed to be marketed towards women, so I didn't watch it. Because I'm susceptible to marketing. And I don't like that Amber person. Jonathan Gordon says, was Marcus Aurelius a bad father? That's an interesting question, because his son. Ooh. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes, you know, I don't know. Sometimes you can't necessarily control what happens, how your spawn come out. You might be the best dad in the world, and you might still have an evil seed. Because it's not all nurture, is it? You know? I remember my son, he came out, he's pretty much exactly the same today as he is. I like to flatter myself that I'm an amazing parent, but like, most of what makes Hercules what he is was there right away. Anyway, in other news, a lot of people have been sending me this story today about NASA scientists. I have to put air quotes around all of that. NASA scientists detect, oh my God, I have to put air quotes around every bit of this story, evidence of parallel universe. This story has been doing the rounds. What's weird about this story doing the rounds is it's based on an article from New Scientist that came out over a month ago. Everyone suddenly decided it's a news story today. I don't know why, but according to New Scientist, NASA researchers in Antarctica have detected evidence of a parallel universe born from the same Big Bang, even that created our world. Though this parallel universe has a major twist, the rules of physics and time in itself appears to run in reverse. Hey, that's wacky. According to the report, evidence of this parallel universe was first discovered in 2016 during an experiment that saw researchers use a giant balloon to lift electronic antennas into the sky above Antarctica. Antarctica, that's important. During the experiment, they encountered what was described as a wind of particles from space that were 1,000,000 times more powerful than anything they'd previously seen. It's the energy level of those particles that seems to be the key to the finding. While low-energy subatomic neutrinos can pass through Earth, higher-energy particles are stopped by solid matter, which means that such particles can only be detected if they're falling down from space. However, the experiment detected heavier particles that came up from Earth. The implication for the finding is that the particles are traveling backward in time and thus are suggestive of a parallel universe, as the only way that the tau neutrino could behave as observed was if it had changed into some other type of particle before passing through Earth and then changed back, something that was described as an impossible event. The simplest explanation for the phenomenon is that at the moment of the Big Bang, 13.8 billion years ago, two universes were formed, ours and one from our perspective that is running in reverse with time going backwards, the report said. Of course, that's always go for the simplest explanation, Occam's razor and all that, you know. It's important to note that while the idea of evidence of a parallel universe is fascinating, not everyone is on board with the findings. Peter Gorham, principal investigator on NASA's Antarctic Impulsive Transient Antenna Project, Antarctic Impulsive Transient Antenna Project, AITA, said that there were some skeptics, and it's not impossible that there are other explanations for the findings, such as a malfunction with Anita. Oh, you've got the N from Antarctica in there as well, huh? Or the possibility of a new class of subatomic particles. Yeah, so there you go. Thanks for that. One thing to pay attention to about that, I guess, is that it's in Antarctica. They're talking about Antarctica, and Antarctica's weird, right? Because Antarctica is the only place on Earth that doesn't have anyone living in it, that hasn't been claimed, you know, that doesn't have its own native population. Everyone decided, they all got together and said, all right, none of us are going to claim this. We're going to leave it alone, and no one's allowed to go there, apart from people we say that are allowed to go there. I think it was 12 countries initially decided this in about 1930 or something. Let's have a look. What was it? Okay, no, in 1961, the treaty entered into force. And it was, how many people? 12? The main treaty was signed for signature initially in 1959 and officially entered into force in 61. The original signatories were the 12 countries active in Antarctica at that time. They were Argentina, Australia, Belgium, Chile, France, Japan, New Zealand, New Zealand, Norway, South Africa, and the Soviet Union, the United Kingdom, the United States. There are now 54 countries that have all agreed to not let anybody go to Antarctica for whatever reason. Whatever reason they say this week. But anyway, now they're saying in Antarctica they found evidence of a parallel universe where everything runs backwards, which is the plot of every 60s TV show ever, I guess. So that's interesting. Shouts out to Antarctica, of course. You know your boy Hitler. He believed that Antarctica was home of a doorway to the center of the Earth. And that if he could get over there, he would be able to go through that doorway to the center of the Earth and find some magical scrolls and some dinosaurs that could talk and things like that. Oh! I wouldn't know. Small in Australia says there's no one in Antarctica except for Tupac. Good point. Daniel Grove says perhaps there's something under the ice. Well, there is. I mean, there was some video footage in 2016 that came out. I think it was from Google Earth, and there was what looks like some kind of alien craft being uncovered under the ice. Some giant thing like half a mile across that looked like something straight out of the movie Alien. Shiny, sort of curved ribcage looking ass thing. Google Earth changed its imagery quite dramatically shortly after that, as if someone had just drawn a whole new Antarctica and stuck it in there, so to speak. Arden Cobb says quite, you know, soundly, if parallel means that it runs separate from our own, distinct in some way, how are they supposed to have empirically detected it? Don't ask any questions. Just stand by the water cooler and say, hey, they discovered a parallel universe. And then that'll just kind of go in. You go, okay, cool. And then like the idea of a parallel universe is sort of normalized. And then you go about your business. That's what's supposed to happen. Don't ask any questions. You ever read that book, Time's Arrow? It's a what was his name? I used to really like him. Have I forgotten his name? He wrote the Rachel Papers too. Martin Amis, that was it. Martin Amis. It's a Martin Amis book about a life lived backwards, and the whole book is just written backwards. And I think it was somebody like dying after an experiment in Nazi Germany, I think. And then you see their whole life go in reverse. I think lots of books have been written in that fashion. Arden Carb says, should just cut to the bottom of the well and start reading Young over stream. Well, you know, let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're doing Marcus first, my guy. Anyway, let's ask a question. Let's do the international high five. We'll do the international high five, and what I want to know today is this. I want to know, where are you? Internationally, in an international fashion, where are you? And what do you think the reason for the Antarctic Treaty really is? What's really going on in Antarctica? In your opinion, in just a word or that region. Daniel Grove says, Graham Hancock suggests that a pre-cataclysm civilization could have lived where Antarctica is now. Yes, I have heard that one. Yes, I like that one. Did you read Graham Hancock's book about the people who used to live in America? About all the pyramids and Egyptian-esque structures in America. Very interesting. Very interesting. Small in Australia says rainforest used to be on Antarctica. All sorts of stuff there. Yeah. Derna 1804 says, how do we even know the universe is infinite? Could just be that we're really small and can't imagine it ending just because it's expanding. Maybe the universe is like a bubble. The truth is, we don't know shit, my guy. Some people claim to know things, and other people listen to those people because they have a halo effect of some kind of appearance of knowing stuff, and they just believe what they're told and they don't question it because they think, well, that person's smart. Who am I to ask a sensible question? But nobody knows shit, my guy. Nobody knows shit. They don't know nothing. You know nothing. Daniel, hello Daniel, he's in Melbourne.
Also for some slaps.
Yeah. The crowned one from the church in the woods says, no joke, I was visited by an alien figure and it took my sperm into its hand like an incubator. What did it look like? Was it one of those tall, skinny ones? Was it one of the ones with the big heads? Was it one of the ones that looks like a tall man in a hat? Roberto Pacquiao's in San Diego and has no clue. Daniel Groves is in Melbourne and thinks there might be a pyramid at the very least under the ice. You bet there's a goddamn pyramid. I was on Google Earth earlier looking at it, just looking for a pyramid. But like most of it's just like scrubbed out. You can't see nothing. It's just like someone's gone over it with the content eraser tool in Photoshop. Rug M in Canada says aliens for sure. Riz Christopher in Santa Maria says penguins are belly sliding. Belly sliding. Penguins get down in that fashion, right? They be belly sliding all over the place. Jeez. The crowned one from the church in the woods says Antarctica surrounds us. Colonel Bird, after Operation Damien, found all sorts of resources there. Ooh. Solanza in New York says, has to be Illuminatis. LZ says, I don't doubt empirical evidence, but sometimes these big theories are a little shaky. It's like trying to imagine life on another planet. Why would their tech or appearance look even remotely human? Quite. I mean, the theory is the word there, right? Theory, i.e. not facts. Theory. Yo. Derna 1804 in Queens, New York City says people spent the past 500 years fighting over territory, and they just now realize that people are power, not territory. Ooh. Black Rock Beacon in PA says it's probably oil. They all agreed to not drill there as well. Did you know that? They made a new agreement in the early 90s to not drill there for 50 years. And America said, we ain't having that. And then they changed their minds. So someone had a word. The Triad says, what if it's a Decepticon under the ice? Yeah, what if? I Love Myself says, hey, handsome. Hey, handsome. Daniel Grove says, lots of crazy Nazi activity down there during World War II. Yeah, exactly. As I was saying, your boy Hitler thought that there was a hole there, some kind of a portal to another world. Possibly the inside of the Earth, possibly another place. Possibly that backwards universe, huh? Cindy Bailey says, the theory of relativity still fascinates me, and that's been proven. Vin Fuego says, Operation Matt Diamond. Oh, you guys. Hey, let's do a high five. Why not, huh? We can do a high five. We can. We've got the technology. Let's do a high five all together at once. If you're listening on the replay, you can join in. And if you're locked in live, you can really, really regulate those powerful vibes across space and time with the power that only you hold. You know, you hold it in your palm. Are you ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. That was an international high five. Yeah, it was. By golly, by gosh, by goodness, by gracious. By lummy. Yeah. What a time to be alive. You know, what's interesting to me is that just the conversations we're having. We're at that point in the game where we're discussing parallel universes. It's just like, like that's normal. Like those are normal things to be discussing here in this most auspicious year of our Lord, 2020 AD, aka Year Zero, live from the peak of recorded human civilization. In the year in which every day brings a new craziness, a new vast epic craziness on a daily basis. So much so that this craziness is now normal. The new normal is lunacy. Yeah, baby. The new normal is revelations of the existence of UFOs and parallel dimensions where things run backwards. Where Superman's a bad guy who stands upside down and drinks out of his butt. Yeah, baby. What a time to be alive. Shouts out to everyone that's supporting the Alan Watts campaign. We got a new single dropping this Friday. New single this Friday, new music video from the Alan Watts album, Alan Watts Watts Wave 6, The Web of Life Part 2. You can pre-order that thing now, you can back that campaign, you can get it on vinyl for the first time. Hit the link in the description of this video to reserve your vinyl today. The vinyl is going to be purple, it's a double album. You're also able to get the previous album, The Web of Life, on purple double vinyl. We're going for the new stretch goal of 9K. At 9K, that unlocks a gatefold vinyl. We'll be able to afford to make it gatefold and add a lyric book. So you might want to check out that campaign today. Consider that campaign. Consider backing that campaign and getting some MEANINGWAVE vinyl in your life, baby. Coming up this week. In fact, it may well be tomorrow. We're going to do a very special Jordan Peterson versus Alan Watts MEANINGWAVE live set. Peterson versus Watts. It's the showdown of the century. Forget Sam, what's his name? Who's that guy who wrote that book? You know, the atheist guy who loves Hillary Clinton. What's his fucking name? Anyway, forget him versus Jordan Peterson, which people were excited about a year or two ago. Watts versus Peterson. Coming to a meaning stream near you, possibly tomorrow. Hey, welcome to the channel, Brian. I saw you just subscribed. There was an icon on my screen. What up, Brian? Solanza says you're going to shake the fabric of space-time with that battle. David Howe says Web of Life is the album that made me realize that Akira the Don has clout. Yo, God bless you, smart man. David Howe, what a guy. What a guy, David Howe.
He's got clout.
Yeah, I heard that about David Howe, you know, I heard that.
He's got clout.
Fancy that. Hey, what up? Val Venus is in the building. Val Venus is in the building with hips on X game mode. That's hype. Roberto Sanchez says, I'm hyped for JBP versus Watts. Yeah, right? It's going to be sick. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Nintendo Nada. Good to see you here. Good to see everybody here. We're going to read. We're going to do some reading from a very powerful book. One of my favorites, and I'm going to read from... someone was like, oh, you got the wrong version of the book, Akira, because I got a version here. And that's just a prop. That's just a prop. That's part of the set. There's a copy of the book on the set. I've got a set. If you listen to this on the podcast and you didn't know I had a set, I got a set, baby. It's expanding day by day. It gets a little bit cooler. We've got a couple of icons. We've got a sculpture. We've got a miniature palm tree. You know, we've got bobble-headed Bob Ross. You know, we've got everything we need to proceed. So take heed. Now, you know, to make this difficult for myself, I'm going to DJ at the same time. Yeah. I thought, I could just put on one of my mixes and just read over the top of that. And then I thought, yeah, but why make things easy for yourself, Akira the Don? And also, that wouldn't be truly, like, doing it properly because you still need to be feeling out the vibes as you go, you know? So, yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to read from book 3. Yes, we are. We're going to read from book 3 of Meditations by your boy, everybody's favorite, you know, the immortal, the legendary, my friend and yours, Marcus Aurelius. Hey. 1. Yeah. Not just that every day or more of our life is used up and less of it is left, but this too. If we live longer, can we be sure our mind will still be up to understanding the world, to the contemplation that aims as divine and human knowledge? If our mind starts to wander, we'll still go on breathing, go on eating, imagining things, feeling urges, and so on. Getting the most of ourselves, calculating where our duty lies, analyzing what we hear and see, deciding whether it's time to call it quits. All the things you need a healthy mind for, all those are gone. All those are gone. So we need to hurry. Not just because we move daily closer to death, but also because our understanding, our grasp of the world may be gone before we get there. Hell yeah, baby. Gone before we get there. Gone before we get there. Gone before we get there. Two. We should remember that even nature's inadvertence has its own charm, its own attractiveness. The way loaves of bread split open on top in the oven, the ridges are just byproducts of the baking, and yet pleasing, somehow. They rouse our appetite without our knowing why. Or how ripe figs begin to burst. And olives at the point of falling. The shadow of decay gives them a peculiar beauty, stalks of wheat bending under their own weight, the furrowed brow of the lion, flecks of foam on the boar's mouth, and other things. If you look at them in isolation, there's nothing beautiful about them, and yet by supplementing nature, they enrich it and draw us in. And anyone with a feeling for nature, a deeper sensitivity, will find it all gives pleasure. Even what seems inadvertent, he'll find the jaws of live animals as beautiful as painted ones or sculptures. He'll look calmly at the distinct beauty of old age in men, women, and at the loveliness of children. And other things like that will call him to constantly. They'll call out to him constantly. Things unnoticed by others. They'll call out to him constantly. Things unnoticed by others. They'll call out to him constantly. Things unnoticed by others. Things only seen by those at home with nature and its works. Yeah. Things only seen by those at home with nature and its works. Hippocrates cured many illnesses, and then fell ill and died. The Chaldeans predicted the deaths of many others. In due course, their own hour arrived. Alexander, Pompey, Caesar, who utterly destroyed so many cities, cut down so many thousand foot and horse in battle. They too departed this life. Heracles has often told us the world would end in fire, but it was moisture that carried him off. He died smeared with cow shit. Democritus was killed by ordinary vermin, Socrates by the humankind. And you boarded, you set sail, you made the passage, time to disembark. If it's for another life, well, there's nowhere without gods on that side either. If to nothingness, then you no longer have to put up with pain and pleasure, or go on dancing attendance on this battered crate, your body, so much inferior to that which serves it. Yeah! One is mind and spirit, and the other earth and garbage. Face! One is mind and spirit, the other earth and garbage. Oh! Bars! Yo. 4. Don't waste the rest of your time here worrying about other people, unless it affects the common good. It will keep you from doing anything useful. You'll be too preoccupied with what so-and-so is doing and why, and what they're saying and what they're thinking and what they're up to, and all the other things that throw you off and keep you from focusing on your own mind. You need to avoid certain things in your train of thought. Everything random, everything relevant, and certainly everything self-important or malicious. Yeah. You need to get used to winnowing your thoughts so that if someone says, "What are you thinking about?" you can respond at once and truthfully that you are thinking this or that. And it would be obvious at once from your answer that your thoughts were straightforward and considerate ones. The thoughts of an unselfish person, one unconcerned with pleasure, with sensual indulgence generally, with squabbling, with slander and envy, or anything else you'd be ashamed to be caught thinking. Someone like that, someone who refuses to put off joining the elect, is a kind of priest, a servant of the gods, in touch with what is within him and what keeps a person undefiled by pleasures, invulnerable to pain. untouched by arrogance, unaffected by meanness, an athlete in the greatest of all contests. The greatest of all contests. Yeah. An athlete in the greatest of all contests. The struggle not to be overwhelmed by anything that happens, with what leaves us died inevitably by justice. Welcoming wholeheartedly whatever comes, whatever we're assigned, not worrying too often, or with any selfish motive, about what other people say, or do, or think. Yeah. He does only what is his to do, and considers constantly what the world has in store for him, doing his best and trusting that all is for the best. For we carry our fate with us, and it carries us. He keeps in mind that all rational things are related, and to care for all human beings is part of being human, which doesn't mean we have to share their opinions. We should listen only to those whose lives conform to nature. And the others? He bears in mind what sort of people they are. Yeah. He bears in mind what sort of people they are, both at home and abroad, by night as well as day, and who they spend their time with. And he cares nothing for their praise, men who can't even meet their own standards. Yes! Yeah, boy! Yo, make some noise for your boy Marcus. Just dropping pearls, just dropping bombs, just dropping all of them usefulnesses. Just like more gems than a busted-fingered watchmaker, my guy. Oh my goodness.
Akira.
Ooh, baby. 5. How to act. Yeah, come on. Oi. Never under compulsion, out of selfishness, without forethought, with misgivings. Don't gussy up your thoughts. Yeah. No surplus words or unnecessary actions. No surplus words or unnecessary actions. No surplus words or unnecessary actions.
No surplus words or unnecessary actions.
Yeah. Let the spirit in you represent a man, an adult, a citizen, a Roman, a ruler. Taking up his post like a soldier and patiently awaiting his recall from life, needing no oath or witness. Needing no oath or witness. Needing no oath or witness.
Needing no oath or witness. Yo. Cheerfulness.
Without requiring other people's help. Or serenity supplied by others. None of that. Nah. Yo. Also, finally, in fact, to stand up straight, not straightened. Stand up straight, not straightened. Hey, stand up straight, not straightened. Oi, stand up straight, not
straightened.
Yo, that's a banger. Yo, that's a banger right there. Oh. Yeah. Chill, Mario. Oh. Okay. 6. If at some point in your life you should come across anything better than justice, honesty, self-control, courage, then a mind satisfied that is succeeded in enabling you to act rationally and satisfied to accept what's beyond its control, if you ever find anything better than that, embrace it without reservations. It must be an extraordinary thing indeed. and enjoy it to the full. But if nothing presents itself that's superior to the spirit that lives within, the one that a subordinated individual desires to itself, that discriminates amongst impressions, that has broken free of physical temptations and subordinated it to the gods and looks out for human beings' welfare, oi, if you find that there's nothing more important or valuable than that, then don't make room for anything but it. For anything that might lead you astray, tempt you off the road and leave you unable to devote yourself completely to achieving the goodness that is uniquely yours. It would be wrong for anything to stand between you and attaining goodness as a rational being and a citizen. It would be wrong for anything to stand between you and attaining goodness as a rational being and a citizen. Anything at all. The applause of the crowd. High office. The applause of the crowd. High office, wealth, or self-indulgence. Yo, all of them might seem to be compatible with it for a while, but suddenly they control us, sweep us away. So make your choice straightforwardly, once and for all, and stick to it. Choose what is best. Choose what is best. Wait, best is what benefits me. As a rational being, then follow through. Or just as an animal, then say so. And stand your ground without making a show of it. Without making a show of it. Just make sure you've done your homework first. Oh! Baby. Seven. Never regard someone as doing you good if it makes you betray a trust. You dig? Yo, 7. Never regard something as doing you good if it makes you betray a trust or lose your sense of shame. Or makes you show hatred, suspicion, ill will, hypocrisy, or a desire for things best done behind closed doors. Oi, if you can privilege your own mind, your guiding spirit, and your reverence for its powers, then that should keep you clear of dramatics, of wailing and gnashing of teeth. Hey, you won't need solitude, or a cast of thousands either. Above all, you'll be free of fear and desire. And how long your body will contain the soul that inhabits it will cause you not a moment's worry. If it's time for you to go, leave willingly, as you would to accomplish anything that could be done with grace and honor. And concentrate on this, your whole life long, for your mind to be in the right state. The state of a rational, civic mind should be in. Yeah. I said the state a rational, civic mind should be in. You dig? Whoa! Yeah, boy! You're listening to the Meaning Streams, number 66. It's Akira the Dawn. We're reading Marcus Aurelius over Lo-Fi beats. We're reading Marcus Aurelius over Lo-Fi beats. We're reading Marcus Aurelius over Lo-Fi beats. I said we're reading
Marcus Aurelius over Lo-Fi beats.
You dig? Whoa, you dig. Oh, baby, come on. Come on, not just lo-fi beats, but classics. Yeah. Come on, 8. The mind of one set straight and purified. No pus, no dirt, no scabs. And not a life cut short by death. Like an actor who stops before the play is done, the plot wound up. neither civility nor arrogance, neither cringing nor disdain, neither excuses nor evasions. Neither excuses nor evasions. 9. Your ability to control your thoughts, treat it with respect. You dig? It's all to protect your mind from false perceptions, false to your nature and that of all rational beings. It's what makes thoughtfulness possible. Yeah, it's what makes thoughtfulness possible. Yeah, an affection for other people and submission to the divine. Yeah, baby! Yeah, 10. Forget everything else. Keep hold of this alone and remember it. Each of us lives only now, this brief instant. The rest has been lived already, or is impossible to see. The span we live is small, small as the corner of the earth in which we live it. Small as even the greatest renown, passed from mouth to mouth by short-lived stick figures, ignorant alike of themselves and those long dead. Oh! Damn, baby. I'm gonna read that again, that was hard. Yo, 10. Forget everything else. Keep hold of this alone and remember of it. Each of us lives only now, this brief instant. The rest has been lived already, or is impossible to see. The span we live is small, small as the corner of the earth in which we live it. Small as even the greatest renown, passed from mouth to mouth by short-lived stick figures, ignorant alike of themselves and those long dead. Yeah, those long dead. Aye. Make some noise for your boy. Yeah, boy. Marcus. Hold tight for that hydration station. Camera 3. Come on, baby. Make some goddamn noise. Ooh. 11. Yo. To this standby is above, add this one. Always to define whatever it is we perceive, to track as outline, so we can see what it really is. Its substance, stripped bare, as a whole, unmodified. And to call it by its name, the thing itself, and its components, to which it will eventually return. Yo, nothing is so conducive to spiritual growth as this capacity for logical and accurate analysis of everything that happens to us. To look at it in such a way that we understand we need it fulfills, and in what kind of world. And its value to that world, as a whole and to man in particular, as a citizen of the higher city, of which all other cities are mere households. What it is, this thing that now forces itself on my notice. What is it made up of? How long was it designed to last? And what qualities do I need to bring it to bear on it? Tranquility, courage, honesty, trustworthiness, straightforwardness, independence, or what? So in each case you need to say, this is due to God, or this is due to the interweavings and entwinings of fate, to a coincidence, or a chance, or this is due to a human being, someone of the same race, the same birth, the same society, but who doesn't know what nature requires of him? But I do. So I'll treat them as the law that binds us, the law of nature, requires. With kindness and with justice. And in inconsequential things, I'll do my best to treat them as they deserve. I'll do best to treat them as they deserve. Oh. Bars.
Akira.
12. If you do the job in a principled way, with diligence, energy, and patience, if you keep yourself free of distractions and keep the spirit inside you undamaged, and if you might have to give it back at any moment, as if you might have to give it back at any moment, if you can embrace without fear or expectation, can find fulfillment in what you're doing now, as nature intended, and in superhuman truthfulness, every word, every utterance, then your life will be happy. No one can prevent that. Oh! If you do the job in a principled way with diligence, energy, and patience, if you keep yourself free of distractions and keep the spirit inside you undamaged, as if you might have to give it back any moment. Yo, if you can embrace this without fear or expectation, can find fulfillment in what you're doing now, as nature intended, and in superhuman truthfulness, every word, every utterance, then your life will be happy. No one can prevent that. No one can prevent that. Nah, no one can prevent that. No one can prevent that. Oh, baby. 13.
I think it's time we stop. Children, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going on.
Doctors keep their scalpels and other instruments handy for emergencies. Keep your philosophy ready to understand heaven and earth. In everything you do, even the smallest thing, remember the chain that links them. Nothing is earthly succeeds by ignoring heaven. Nothing earthly succeeds by ignoring heaven. Nothing heavenly by ignoring the earth. Oi. Damn, baby, that's them bars. Yeah. Gosh. Splash. Wow. Yo. Doctors keep their scalpels and other instruments handy for emergencies. Keep your philosophy ready to understand heaven and earth. Alright, yeah, in everything you do, even the smallest thing, remember the chain that links them. Yeah, nothing earthly succeeds by ignoring heaven. Nothing heavenly by ignoring the earth. Ooh. 14. Yeah. Stop drifting. You're not gonna reread your brief comments, your deeds of ancient Greeks and Romans, the commonplace books you save for your old age. Sprint for the finish. Write off your hopes, and if your well-being matters to you, be your own savior while you can. Yo! Yeah. Be your own savior while you can. Yeah. Rewind. Stop drifting. You're not gonna reread your brief comments, your deeds of ancient Greeks and Romans, the commonplace books you save for your old age. Nah. Yo, sprint for the finish. Write off your hopes, and if your well-being matters to you, be your own savior while you can. Said be your own savior while you can. Ow! Yeah, be your own savior while you can. Oh. 15. Here's the thing. They don't realize how much is included in stealing, sewing, buying, resting, seeing to business. Not with the eyes, but another kind of sight. I said they do not realize how much is included in stealing, sewing, buying, resting, seeing to business. Not with the eyes, but another kind of sight. Oh! Yeah, make some noise. We just got bars in here, nothing else. We just got bars, you know? Sixteen. 16! Come on. Come on, my guy. Body, soul, mind, sensations. The body. Oi, body, soul, mind, sensations. The body. Desires the soul. Reasoning the mind. Hey, to experience sensations. Even grazing beasts do that. To let your desires control you. Even wild animals do that. And rustling humans and tyrants. From Phalaris to Nero. Yo, to make your mind your guide to what seems best. Even people who deny the gods do that. Even people who betray their country. Even people who do, you know what, behind closed doors. All the rest is common coin. Then what is unique to the good man, if all the rest is common coin? Well, to welcome affection with what is sent by fate, not to stain or disturb the spirit within him with a mess of false beliefs. You dig? Body, soul, mind, body, soul, mind. Ooh, there you go. Brah. Brah. Oi. Hey. Yo. Body, soul, mind. Sensations. The body. Body, soul, mind. Desires. The soul. Hey. Body, soul, mind. Sensations. The body. Body, soul, mind. Reasoning. The mind. To experience sensations, even grazing beasts do that. To let your desires control you, even wild animals do that. And rutting humans and tyrants, from Phalaris to Nero. Yeah. To make your mind your guide to what seems best. Even people who deny the gods shouldn't do that. Even people who betray their country. Even people who do behind closed doors. If all the rest is common coin, then what is unique to the good man? Well, if all the rest is common coin, then what is unique to the good man? Well, to welcome with affection what is sent by fate. Not to stain or disturb the spirit within him with a mass of false beliefs. Instead to preserve it faithfully, by calmly obeying God, saying nothing untrue, doing nothing unjust. And if the others don't acknowledge it, this life lived with simplicity, humility, cheerfulness, he doesn't resent them for it, and isn't deterred from following the road where it leads to the end of life. An end to be approached in purity, in serenity, in acceptance, in peaceful unity with what must be. Yeah, baby! Yeah, we in here. This is Akira the Don, his meaning stream number 66. Yeah, we in here. We're about to get into book 4. We're reading Marcus Aurelius. Why not? Oi. Our inward power, when it obeys nature, reacts to events by accommodating itself to what it faces, to what is possible. Hey. It needs no specific material. It pursues its own aims, as circumstances allow. It turns obstacles into fuel. As a fire overwhelms what would have quenched a lamp, what's thrown on top of the conflagration is absorbed, consumed by it. Makes it burn still higher, still higher, still higher, still higher, still higher. 2. No random actions, none not based on underlying principles. I said no random actions, none not based on underlying principles. People try to get away from it all. To the country, to the beach, to the mountains. You always wish that you could too, which is idiotic. You can get away from it anytime you like. By going within. Hey! By going within. Nowhere you can go is more peaceful, more free of interruptions than your own soul. Especially if you have other things to rely on. An instant's recollection and there it is, complete tranquility. By tranquility, I mean a kind of harmony. Yo, so keep getting away from it all. Like that, renew yourself, but keep it brief and basic. Brief and basic. Hey. Quick visit should be enough to ward off all and send you back ready to face what awaits you. What's there to complain about? People's misbehavior? But take into consideration. Take into consideration that rational beings exist for one another. The doing what's right sometimes requires patience, that no one does the wrong thing deliberately, and the number of people have feuded and envied and hated and fought and died and been buried. And keep your mouth shut. Or are you complaining about the things the world assigns you? But consider the two options, providence or atoms, and all the arguments for seeing the world as a city. Yeah. Or is it your body? Keep in mind that when the mind detaches itself and realizes its own nature, it no longer has anything to do with ordinary life, the rough, smooth, either one. And remember all you've been taught and accepted about pain and pleasure. And remember all you've been taught and accepted about pain and pleasure. Or is it your reputation that's bothering you? But look how soon we're all forgotten. The abyss of endless time that swallows it all. The emptiness of all those applauding hands. The people who praise us, how capricious they are, how arbitrary. And the tiny region in which it all takes place. The whole earth, a point in space, and most of it uninhabited. How many people there will be there to admire you? And who are they? Who they are? Who they are. So keep this refuge in mind, the back roads of yourself. Above all, no strain and no stress. Be straightforward. Look at things like a man, like a human, like a citizen, like a mortal. And among the things you turn to, these are two. The things have no hold on the soul. They stand there, unmoving, outside it. Disturbance comes only from within, from our own perceptions. Own perceptions. Own perceptions. Yeah. Also, that everything you see will soon alter and cease to exist. Think of how many changes you've already seen. The world is nothing but change. Our life is only perception. Bars, make some noise for yourself, baby. You listen to that meaning stream. Meaning stream number 66. We're reading from Meditations by Marcus Aurelius over Lo-Fi beats, baby. We're doing that. We're doing it live. Where else are you gonna find entertainment like this? Only right here on the meaning stream, my guy, my girl. Yeah. Woo! 4. Okay. Well, if thought is something we share, then so is reason. What makes us reasoning beings? If so, then the reason that truth tells us what to do. Ooh. Rewind. A 1, a 2. If thought is something we share, then so is reason. What makes us reasoning beings? If so, then the reason that tells us what to do and what not to do is also shared. And if so, we share a common law, and thus are fellow citizens, and fellow citizens of something. And if that's so, we share a common law, and thus are fellow citizens, and fellow citizens of something. And in that case, our state must be the world. What other entity could all of humanity belong to? And from it, from this state that we share, came thought and reason and law. Yeah. Where else could they come from? The earth that composes me derives from earth. The water from some other element. The air from its own source. The heat and fire from theirs. Since nothing comes from nothing, or returns to it. Yeah. Since nothing comes from nothing, or returns to it. So thought must derive from somewhere else as well. From somewhere else as well. So thought must derive from somewhere else as well. 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 So thought must derive from somewhere else as well. From somewhere else as well. From somewhere else as well. So thought must derive from somewhere else as well. Where else could they come from? The earth that composes me derives from earth, the water from some other element, the air from its own source, the heat and fire from theirs. Since nothing comes from nothing, or returns to it. Since nothing comes from nothing, or returns to it. Since nothing comes from nothing, or returns to it. Since nothing comes from nothing, or returns to it. Since nothing comes from nothing, or returns to it. Yeah, yeah! Hey. From somewhere else as well, from somewhere else as well. So thought must derive from somewhere else as well. From somewhere else as well, from somewhere else as well. So thought must derive from somewhere else as well. Hey, from somewhere else as well, from somewhere else as well. So therefore thought must derive from somewhere else as well. From somewhere else as well, from somewhere else as well. So therefore must derive from somewhere else as well. Hey. Oh! Somewhere else as well, from somewhere else as well. So thought must derive from somewhere else as well. From somewhere else as well, from somewhere else as well. So thought must derive from somewhere else as well. Oi. Yeah, make some noise. Make some noise for somewhere else as well. That's a banger. Composed on the Meaning stream. Live from the peak of recorded human history with your boy Marcus Aurelius from somewhere else as well. Yeah, yeah, come on. Yo, death, something like birth and natural mystery. Elements that split and recombine. Death, something like birth and natural mystery. Elements that split and recombine. Not an embarrassing thing, not an offense to reason or our nature. Nah. No, it's not an embarrassing thing, not a defense to reason or our nature. No, it's not. It is just death, something like birth, a natural mystery. Elements that split and recombine. It's death, something like birth, a natural mystery. Elements that split and recombine, not an embarrassing thing, not an offense to reason or our nature. Nah, 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 nah. Not an embarrassing thing, not an offense to reason or our nature. No, no. It's just death, something like birth, a natural mystery. Elements that split and recombine as death, something like birth, a natural mystery. Elements that split and recombine, not an embarrassing thing, not an offense to reason or our nature. Nah, nah. Nah, nah, not an embarrassing thing, not an offense to reason or our nature. Come on. Yo. The sort of person is bound to do that. You might as well resent a fig tree for secreting justice. Anyways, before very long, you'll both be dead and soon forgotten. Choose not to be harmed and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed and you haven't been. Repeat. Choose not to be harmed and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed and you haven't been. You get it? Choose not to be harmed and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed and you haven't been. Ow! Choose not to be harmed and you won't feel harmed. Do not feel harmed and you haven't been. Alright, if it can ruin your life... Yo, I said it can only ruin your life. I said it can only ruin your life if it ruins your character. Otherwise it can't harm you, inside or out. Basics. Basics. Here's one. It was for the best, so nature had no choice but to do it. I said it was for the best, so nature had no choice but to do it. Yo, every event is the right one. Look closely and you'll see. Every event is the right one. Look closer and you'll see, baby. Alright, not just the right one overall, but right. As if someone had weighed it out with scales. Keep looking closely like that and embody it in your actions. Goodness, it's what defines a person. Keep to it in everything you do. 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 Woo, 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 woo. Yeah, baby. Make some noise. We in here. We're reading Marcus Aurelius Meditations over lo-fi beats. You know, only the way that only we can. Ain't nobody else doing this, baby. Ain't nobody else. Nowhere else you can go to find this kind of entertainment. My goodness. Marcus, lo-fi beats. What a time to be alive. Yo, not what your enemy sees and hopes that you will, but what's really there. You dig? Not what your enemy sees and hopes you will see, but what's really there. Run it. Yo, two kinds of readiness are constantly needed. To do only what the logos of authority and law directs, with the good of human beings in mind. To reconsider your position, when someone can set you straight or convert you to his. But your conversation should always rest in conviction that is right, or that benefits others. Nothing else. Not because it's more appealing or more popular. Rewind. Two kinds of readiness are constantly needed. To do only what the logos or authority and law directs, with the good of human beings in mind, in mind, in mind. Yo, two, to reconsider your position, when someone can set you straight or convert you to his. But your conversion should always rest on a conviction that it is right or benefits others. Nothing else. Not because it's more appealing or more popular. Yeah. Not because it's more appealing or popular. Yeah, yeah. Go on, baby. Not because it's more appealing or more popular. Yeah, not because it's more appealing or more popular. You dig? Yeah, yeah, come on. Yo. Yo, baby. You're getting deep. You're getting deep into the territory of the soul. Come on. You know what I mean? And the music gotta reflect that.
It's about time.
It's about time. Come on. 13. You have a mind? Yes. Well, why not use it? Question. You have a mind? Yes. Well, why not use it? Yo, isn't that all you want for it to do its job? Huh? Isn't that all you want for it to do its job? Come on.
It's about time.
You have functioned as a part of something and you will vanish into what produced you. You hear me? You have functioned as a part of something and you will vanish into what produced you. Or be restored, rather, to the logos from which all things spring. By being changed, yeah. I said to the logos from which all things spring, by being changed. Yo, many lumps of incense on the same altar. One crumbles now, one later. Makes no difference. Many lumps of incense on the same altar. One crumbles now, one later. Makes no difference. Now, they see you as a beast, a monkey, but in a week they'll think you're a god. If you rediscover your beliefs and honor the logos! Did you hear that correctly? Here's a promise. Promises, promises. Yeah. Here's the thing. Here's the thing, baby. Make some noise. Oh! Facts. Oh! There you go. What up, baby? Yeah. 66. Yo. Hey, 16. Now they see you as a beast. Now they see you as a beast. Now they see you as a beast. Yeah. Yeah. Now they see you as a beast, a monkey. But in a week they'll think you're a god. If you rediscover your beliefs and honor the logos. Yeah. Now they see you as a beast, a monkey. But in a week they'll think you're a god. If you rediscover your beliefs and honor the logos. You dig? Now, not to live as if you had endless years ahead of you. Death overshadows you. While you're alive and able, be good. Yo, not to live as if you had endless years ahead of you. Death overshadows you. While you're alive and able, you better be good. Yo, the tranquility that comes when you stop caring what they say, or think, or do. Wait, only what you do. Is this fair? Is this the right things to do? Not to be distracted by their darkness. To run straight for the finish line, unswerving. Yeah. People who are excited by posthumous fame forget that the people who remember them will soon die too, and those after them. In turn. Until their memory passed from one to another, like a candle flame, gutters and goes out. Yo, but anyway, suppose that those who remembered you were immortal, and your memory undying. What good would it do you? Huh? And I don't just mean when you're dead, but in your own lifetime. What use is praise, except to make your lifestyle a little more comfortable? You're out of step, neglecting the gifts of nature to hang on to someone's words in the future. You think? Yeah. Hey. You're out of step, neglecting the gifts of nature to hand on someone's words in the future. Damn, baby. Make some noise for the boy. Yo, it's Mini Stream 66, baby. We're reading Meditations over Lo-Fi Beats. Here we are. Yeah, we are. Oh my goodness, we are. From my cosmic Kindle. Look at it. A thing of beauty. Alright, here's the thing. 20. Beautiful things are kind of beautiful in themselves and sufficient to themselves. Praise is extraneous. The object of praise remains what it was. No better, no worse. This applies, I think, even to beautiful things in ordinary life. Physical objects and artworks. Physical objects and artworks. Does anybody really genuinely beautiful need supplementing? Does anything genuinely beautiful need supplementing? No more than justice does, or truth, or kindness, or humility. Are any of those improved by being praised or damaged by contempt? Is emerald suddenly flawed if nobody admires it? Or gold, or ivory, or purple? Liars, knives, flowers, bushes, huh? 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 Beautiful things of any kind are beautiful in themselves and sufficient to themselves. Praise is extraneous. The object of praise remains what it was, no better and no worse. This applies, I think, even to beautiful things in ordinary life. Physical objects, artworks. Physical objects, artworks. Physical objects, artworks. Physical objects. Yo, does anything genuinely beautiful need supplementing? No more than justice does, or truth, or kindness, or humility. Humility. Are any of these things improved by being praised, or damaged by contempt? Is emerald suddenly flawed if nobody admires it? Or gold, or ivory, or purple? Purple. 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 Hey, if any of our souls survive, how does the air find room for them? All of them. Since the beginning of time. How does the earth find room for all the bodies buried in it? Since the beginning of time. They linger for whatever length of time and then through change and decomposition make room for others. So too, with the souls that inhabit the air. They linger a little, and then are changed, diffused and kindled into fire, absorbed into the logos from which all things spring, and so make room for new arrivals. One possible answer. We shouldn't think only of the mass of buried bodies. There are the ones consumed on a daily basis by us and by other animals. How many are swallowed up by that, like that, entombed in the bodies of those nourished by them, and yet there is room for them all. Covers it in flesh and blood, transforms air and fire. How is the truth of this determined? Through analysis, material and cause. Through analysis, material and cause. Yo, 22. Not to be driven this way and that, but always behave with justice and see things as they are. Not to be driven this way and that, but always behave with justice and see things as they are, to see the world. Your harmony is mine. Whatever time you choose is the right time. Not late, not early. Yo, to nature, what the turn of your seasons brings befalls like ripe fruit. All things are born from you, exist in you, and return to you. The poet says, dear city of Cecrops. Can't you bring yourself to say, of Zeus? The poet says, dear city of Cecrops. Can't you bring yourself to say, of Zeus? If you seek tranquility, do less. Or, more accurately, do what's essential. What the logos of a social being requires in his requisite way, which brings the double satisfaction to do less, better. Hey, do less, better. Hey, do less, better. Hey, do less, better. Why? Yo, because most of what we say and do is not essential. If you can eliminate it, you'll have more time and more tranquility. Ask yourself at every moment, is this necessary? But we need to eliminate unnecessary assumptions as well, to eliminate the unnecessary actions that follow. I said we need to eliminate unnecessary assumptions as well, to eliminate the unnecessary actions that follow. And then you might see what life of the good man is like. Someone content with what nature assigns him, and then you might see like what the life of the good man is like. somewhat. Oh yeah. And then you might see what the life of a good man is like. Someone content with what nature assigns him. But then you might see what the life of a good man is like. Someone content with what nature assigns to him. And satisfied with being just and kind in himself. What a guy. What a guy, my goodness. Yo. Powerful section right there. That was L. Make some noise for Marcus. Boom! Yo! Bap, bap. Hey. What's cracking? Yo, you seen that. Now look at this. You seen that. Now look at this. Don't be disturbed. Uncomplicate yourself. Don't be disturbed. You hear? Someone has done you wrong. Someone has done wrong. To himself. To himself. Oh. Vibes. Alright, cool. Yo. Yo. Something happens to you. Good. It was meant for you by nature. Woven into the pattern from the beginning.
Get after it.
Something happens to you. Good. It was meant for you by nature. Woven into the pattern from the beginning. So,
Get after it.
I said,
Get after it.
yo, life is short. That's all there is to say. Life is short. That's all there is to say. Get what you can from the present. Thoughtfully and justly. Yo, life is short. That's all there is to say. Get what you can from the present. Yo, thoughtfully. Yeah, and justly. Come on. Unrestrained moderation. Unrestrained moderation. Unrestrained moderation. Gang! Unrestrained moderation. Get after it. An ordered world or a mishmash, but still in order. Can it be ordered without you and not and everything else? Rewind. An ordered world or a mishmash, but still in order. Can it be ordered within you and not in everything else? In things so different, so dispersed, so intertwined. Now, character, dark, womanish, obstinate, wolf, sheep, child, fool, cheat, buffoon, salesman, tyrant, gang. Character, dark, womanish, obstinate, wolf, sheep, child, fool, cheat, buffoon, salesman, tyrant, gang. Ow! Yo, alien, one who doesn't know what the world contains or how it operates. Let's say fugitive, one who evades his obligations to others. Yeah. Blind, one who keeps the eyes of his mind shut tight. Also, poor, requiring others, not having the necessities of life in one's own possession. Rebel, one who is rebellious, one who withdraws from the logos of nature because he resents its workings. It produced you, now it produces this. Schismatic, one who separates its own soul from others. With the logos, they should be one. Make some noise, baby. Hey, what's cracking? A philosopher without clothes on and one without books. I have nothing to eat, says he, as he stands there half naked. But I subsist on the logos. I subsist on the logos. Repeat. Yeah. A philosopher without clothes on and one without books. I have nothing to eat, says he, as he stands there half naked. But I subsist on the logos. Yeah. And with nothing to read, I subsist on it too. Yeah, I do. With nothing to read, I subsist on it too. Yeah. Love the discipline you know, and let it support you. Entrust everything willingly to the gods, and then make your way through life. No one's master, no one's slave. The age of Vespian, for example. People doing the exact same thing. Marrying, raising children, getting sick, dying, waging war, throwing parties, doing business, farming, flattering, boasting, distrusting, plotting, hoping others will die, complaining about their own lives, falling in love, putting away money, seeking high office and power. And the life they led is nowhere to be found. Damn! The life they live is nowhere to be found. You hear that? You hear that? The life they live is nowhere to be found. Damn, baby, the age of Vespian. Crazy. And then the age of Trajan. The exact same thing. And that life too, just gone. Survey the records of other eras and see how many others gave their all and soon died and decomposed into the elements that formed them. But most of all, run through life the list of those who you yourself. Yeah. Those who walked in vain, who failed to do what they should have. Yeah. What they should have remained fixed on and found satisfaction in. Huh? A key point to bear in mind, the value of attentiveness varies in proportion to its object. You're better off not giving the small things more time than they deserve. I said, you're better off not giving the small things more time than they deserve. Facts. Here's another thing. Words once in common now sound archaic. And the names of the famous dead as well. Camillus, Caeso, Volsius, Dentatius, Scipio, and Cato, Augustus, Hadrian, Antonius, and things. Facts. Everything fades so quickly, turns into legend, and soon Everything fades so quickly, turns into legend, and soon oblivion covers it. Facts. Everything fades so quickly, turns into legend, and soon oblivion covers it. Everything fades so quickly, turns into legend, and soon oblivion covers it. And those are the ones who shone, the rest unknown, unasked for. A minute after death. What is eternal fame? Emptiness. And then why should we work for? And what should we work for? Only this: proper understanding, unselfish action, truthful speech. Boom! Proper understanding, unselfish action, truthful speech. A resolve to accept whatever happens as necessary and familiar, flowing like water from the same source and spring. Yeah! Yo, hand yourself over to Clotho Voluntary and let her spin you into whatever she pleases. Everything transistory, the knower and the known. Constant awareness that everything is born from change. The knowledge there is nothing nature loves more than to alter what exists and to make new things like it. All that exists is the seed of what will emerge from it. You think the only seeds are the ones that make plants or children? Go deeper. Go deeper, baby. Go deeper, says Marcus, and so we shall. On the verge of dying and still weighed down, still turbulent, still convinced external things can harm you, still rude to other people, still not acknowledging the truth. Wisdom is justice. Look into their minds and what the wise do and what they don't. I said, look in the minds at what the wise do and what they don't. Facts. Yo, nothing that goes on in anyone's mind can harm you, nor can the shifts and changes in the world around you. Then where is the harm to be found? Well, it's in your capacity to see it. Stop doing that and everything will be fine. Yeah. Let the part of you that makes judgment keep quiet even if the body is attached to it is stabbed or burnt or stinking with pus, consumed by cancer. Or to put it another way, it needs to realize that what happens to everyone, bad and good alike, is neither good nor bad. It needs to realize that what happens to everyone, bad and good alike, is neither good nor bad. Neither good nor bad. It's neither good nor bad. It's neither good nor neither good nor neither good nor bad. That what happens in every life, lived naturally or not, is neither natural nor unnatural. So there. God damn it. The world is a living being, one nature, one soul. Keep that in mind. And and how everything feeds into that single experience, moves with a single motion, and how everything helps produce everything else, spun and woven together. Warp, woof, warp, woof. Oh, my gosh! A little whisper soul carrying a corpse. Epictetus. Epictetus? I never know how to pronounce that guy's name. Epictetus? Whatever, baby. He said that cool thing. He said a little whisper soul carrying a corpse. That's bass! Yeah, that's vibes. Yo, one more time. A little whisper soul carrying a corpse. 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 There is nothing bad in undergoing change, or good in emerging from it. Time is a river, a violent current of events. Glimpse once already carried past us, another follows and is gone. Yeah. Facts! Another follows and is gone. Yo. Everything that happens is as simple and familiar as the rose in spring, the fruit in the summer, disease, death, blasphemy, conspiracy. Everything that makes stupid people happy or angry. Oh my god. Yo. Okay, so what follows confers with what went before, not like a random catalogue whose order is imposed on us with arbitrarily but logically connected. And just as what exists is ordered and harmonious, what comes into being betrays an order too, not mere sequence, but an astonishing coincidence. Concordance. By Joe, concordance. Remember Heraclitus? When Earth dies, it becomes water, air, air, fire, and back to the beginning. Yeah. Those who have forgotten where the road leads, they are at odds with what is all around them. They're all directing logos. They're all directing logos. They're all directing. And they find alien what they meet with every day. Logos. Our words and actions should not be like those of sleepers, for we act and speak in dreams as well, or of children copying their parents, doing and saying only what we have been told. Yeah! Make some noise for your boy Marcus Aurelius! This is Akira the Dawn, this is the Meaning Stream, number 66. We're reading Marcus Aurelius over Lo-Fi beats. We are. You know? You guys asked me to, and so I'm doing it. And it is a great joy. Oi! Yo, DJing and reading Marcus Aurelius at the same time. Where else are you gonna find such exquisite entertainment? My God. 47. Suppose a God that a God announced that you were going to die tomorrow or the day after. Huh? Suppose that God announced that you were going to die tomorrow or the day after. Unless you were a complete coward, you wouldn't kick up a fuss about what day it was. What difference would it make? Now recognize the difference between years from now and tomorrow is just as small. Boom! Thank you, Marcus. Okay, don't let yourself forget how many doctors have died. After furrowing their brows over how many deathbeds, how many astrologers after pompous forecasts about others' ends, how many philosophers and endless disquisitions on death and immortality, huh? How many warriors after inflicting thousands of casualties themselves, huh? How many tyrants after abusing the power of life and death atrociously, as if they were themselves immortal. And how many whole cities have met their end? And all the ones you know yourself, one after another. One who laid out another for burial and was buried himself. And then the man who buried him. All in the same short space of time. Aha! Yo! Thing is, in short, know this. Human lives are brief and trivial. Yesterday a blob of semen. Tomorrow embalming fluid. An ash. Shit. to pass through this brief life as nature demands, to give it up without complaint, like an olive that ripens and falls, praising its mother and thanking the tree that it grew on. Wow, baby, wow. You listen to the Meaning Stream, number 66. We're reading Meditations over Lo-Fi Beats, and we've only got a couple left, man. We just got a couple left of what we're doing tonight, because, you know, we're reading books 3 and 4 tonight. We read book 3, and we've nearly finished book 4, my God. That's kind of sad.
Me an explanation.
Oh.
It's not fair to me what you're doing. Like, how much?
Yeah. Okay. To be like the rock that the waves keep crashing over. Hey. Come on. Yo. To be like the rock that the waves keep crashing over. It stands unmoved and the raging of the sea falls still around it. Yeah, you want to be like that rock that the waves keep crashing over. It stands unmoved and the raging of the sea still around it. Okay, yo, it's unfortunate that this has happened. It's unfortunate that this has happened. And I've remained unharmed by it. Not shattered by the present or frightened if the future could have happened to anyone. But not everyone could have remained unharmed by it. Why treat the one as misfortune rather than the other as fortunate? Huh? Could you really call something a misfortune that doesn't violate human nature? Or do you think something that's not against nature's will can violate it? But you know what its will is. Does what's happened keep you from acting with justice, generosity, self-control, sanity, prudence, honesty, humility, straightforwardness, and all the other qualities that allow a person's nature to fulfill itself? Huh? Yo. So remember this principle when something threatens to cause you pain. The thing itself was no misfortune at all. To endure it and prevail is a great fortune. Yeah. We in the end game now, baby. Make some noise.
I didn't know if I wanted to try it, but Jesus, without this place, I never would have met someone like you. You have to sit down. No, I wouldn't. You would not have got me at all. At all.
50. A trite but effective tactic against the fear of death. Think Think of the list of people who had to be pried away from life. What did they gain by dying old? In the end, they all sleep 6 feet under. Sedecanus, Fabius, Julian, Lepidus, and all the rest. They buried their contemporaries and were buried in turn. Yeah, they were. They buried their contemporaries and were buried in turn. Our lifetime is so brief, and to live it out in these circumstances, amongst these people, in this body, nothing to get excited about. Consider the abyss of time past, the infinite future. 3 days of life or 3 generations. What's the difference? Take the shortest route, the one that nature planned. To speak and act in the healthiest way. Do that and be free of pain and stress, free of all calculation and pretension. I said take the shortest route, the one that nature planned, to speak and act in the healthiest way. Do that and be free of pain and stress, free of all calculation and pretension. Yeah! Damn, baby. Yeah, take the shortest route, the one that nature planned, to speak and act in the healthiest way. Do that and be free of pain and stress, free of all calculation and pretension. Take the shortest route, the one that nature planned, to speak and act in the healthiest way. Do that and be free of pain and stress, free of all calculation and pretension. Make some flipping noise. My guy, my girl. My guy, my girl, make some flipping noise for the boy Marcus Aurelius. And the boy Akira the Don. He has, what is he, what about that guy?
He's got clout.
Oh yeah.
He's got clout.
Yo, how about that? How about that, huh? How'd that go? How was that? I couldn't really look at the chat. I can't read 2 things at once. Can't read 2 things at once. What up, gang? What up, gang? Holy heck, huh? That, right? That's how I made the first album, kind of. That Marcus Aurelius album, Meditations, the way I made that was, I was like, I was reading it. Then I was like, wait a minute. I wonder what it'd sound if I read this over a beat. And it did, and it sounded really cool. Oh, I was like, I could turn this into an album. By Jove and by gosh and by golly. And so I did, and there was a few little moments in that were actually like, part of me wants to rewind it and extract them and use it for the next album, just the way I was doing certain rhythms and stuff. And then part of me is like, no, that wasn't you'll do it differently when you sit down to actually do it. And it'll be, I don't know, I'm currently torn. Anyway. Small in Australia says, who knew that Marky Marcus and the Stoic Bunch was going to be the biggest lo-fi artist of 2020? Aha! Cindy Bailey says that was fabulous. Thank you, Cindy Bailey. And Alicia Istis dropped some beautiful wave emojis. What up, Word XP? What up, Andrew Kamaromi? Says, I enjoyed that. Johnny Moyen says, my MacBook Pro goes so spicy when I'm on here on Discord and doing my work. Good for you. Yeah. Ducko. Small in Australia says Encore 5.1. Cindy Bailey says this is romantic music. Yeah. Broken Umbrella says my boy Marcus calling me out through space and time. Sheila Ferreira says we're still relevant. All entirely relevant. Every bit of it, right? All of it entirely relevant. Small in Australia says, crazy this was written 2,000 years ago. We truly are doing the same thing today, just in a different way. That's right. C. Dressage says, this feels historic, like seeing Alan Watts lecture. Yeah. Mr. Flying Unicorn says, this feels like that episode of Dragon Ball where all the rebel kids are camped out in a house. Thank you to everyone who's supporting during the stream. Thank you to Tom. Says, thanks for the stream, Don. High five. Hey, thank you, Tom. What up, Chris Odell? Haven't seen you for a while. How you doing, you bad man? Says, good evening to you all, and thank you, Akira. Cheers. Hey, thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. I'm glad you're here. You know? Shouts out to everybody locked in. You know, it's that meaning stream. Ain't nowhere else on earth where you'll get this, baby. This is unique to right here. You know? And Johnny went, don't be gussying up those thoughts, whoever said this. Yeah, right. I haven't had gussying up for a while, my goodness. Gussying. Verily, books 3 and 4, they had a theme, huh? Very specific. What I really like about meditations, and it's important to bear in mind, is like, it's like the way I tweet. Like, he's not talking to someone else, he's talking to himself. You know, it's kind of like notes to self, you know, like when you leave a note on your fridge to remind you of certain things or whatever. My wife leaves a bunch of them all over the place. Like, you know, notes to self. And that's what meditations was for your boy Marcus, right? You know what I mean? It was notes to self. He's talking to himself. And he was talking about a bunch of specific things. And one of the core things he was talking about there was the consideration.
So this is
the consideration of death, you know? And life. The consideration of, and I talk about this all the time, right? Those that came before.
So
all those who fought and died and loved and lost, thus so that we may be here. You know?
So
and lots of people have talked about that, and your boy Alan Watts talks about this on the new Alan Watts and Akira the Don album, Watts Wave 6, The Web of Life.
So
he talks about it on this song right here that I'm about to play right here, and this song is called Consider Death.
So this is a view of the world as a system of mutual exploitation and of maximal selfishness. Now, it's a very profitable view to explore. Everybody should do in their lifetime sometime 2 things. One is to consider death. To observe skulls and skeletons. Consider death. And to wonder what it will be like to go to sleep and never wake up.
Never.
That is a very gloomy thing for contemplation, but it's like manure. Just as manure fertilizes the plants and so on. So the contemplation of death and the acceptance of death is very highly generative of creative life. You get wonderful things out of that. And the other thing to contemplate is to follow the possibility of the idea that you are totally selfish. That you don't have a good thing to be said for you at all. You're a complete, utter rascal. You're a complete, utter rascal. Now, the Christians have avoided this. Because although they say in their Episcopalian form of confession that we have erred and strayed from thy ways like lost sheep, and we have followed too much the devices and desires of our own hearts, too much, you know. We have offended against thy holy laws. We have left undone those things we ought to have done, and done those things which we ought not to have done, and there is no health in us. But it ought to be different. And we're going to do our best to amend with the help of God's grace. That is a real con act. If you equate health with genuine love and perfect unselfishness, then in that sense there is no health in us when we look at ourselves from this point of view. Consider death. To observe skulls and skeletons. Consider death. And to wonder what it will be like to go to sleep and never wake up.
Never.
Consider death. To observe skulls and skeletons. Consider death. And to wonder what it will be like to go to sleep and never wake up. Never.
You were listening to Akira the Don and Alan Watts from Watts Wave 6, The Web of Life Part 2. That drops on May 29th. It's coming out on digital, and for the first time it's coming out on vinyl. If you want to reserve your vinyl copy of that, then hit the link in the description of this broadcast and you can reserve your vinyl today, baby. It's a glorious double purple vinyl. What a wonderful time to be alive. My goodness. The next single drops on Friday. And that will have a music video, and you'll see that on Friday. And then tomorrow on the stream, we are doing Alan Watts versus Jordan Peterson. Jordan Peterson versus Alan Watts. It's the battle of the century. It's the flipping clash of the titans, baby. It's gonna go down. Hey, what's up, Hercules? How you doing? No, I haven't done the prayer. Do you want to do a prayer? You haven't done a prayer in ages. Come here and do a quick little prayer. You're what? I'm not the prayer man, says Hercules. Well, fine. Fine, Hercules. I'll do the prayer. I pray that, whatever trials and tribulations are coming your way, you find the strength to overcome, baby, because I believe you have it in you. Yes, I do. And I pray that whatever wisdom you seek finds you, and you find it, And I pray that whatever it is that you need to be, that you find the strength in you to embody that, because I think you can. And, thank you for being here. As always, thank you for being here during this, this rare experiment, this rare little once-in-a-lifetime occurrence. Your boy Akira the Don reading Marcus Aurelius over Lo-Fi hip-hop beats. Bob Ross's head twisted all the way around during that broadcast. And so it goes. We'll be back tomorrow with that Clash of the Titans, baby. Get ready to rumble. Get ready to rumble! Hercules is coming over here now to do the by 5. Come on, Herky, get off Google Earth. Stop looking at Antarctica on Google Earth. It's cap anyway, don't worry. You ready?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. By 5.